Hi there, I am following the instructions for the typographic poster, and so far I have an 8.5 by 11 page with a rectangle set as the background. I did lock it. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and lock all this text too, because then I don't have to worry about it moving around. Okay. So I wanted to show now is how to make the 3D effect with your shapes. So here I have my shape that I made. It was a oval that I erased, and then I did the width changer with the stroke there, the width tool to get this shape. So what I'm gonna do now is hit Command C, because I'm on the Mac, and be Control if it was on the PC. But Command C copies it, and then I'm going to do a Command Shift V, which pastes it, but it pastes it in place. So it's one is right on top of the other. I can now see one there and one there. The one that I just made is the one that's selected. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit down arrow 3 times. 1, 2, 3. I think I'm going to do it a little bit more. 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to hit the left arrow the same number of times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am then going to move that layer underneath the other layer, and I am going to modify its color and make it darker. I'm going to make the fill this dark color that I chose earlier. Actually, that might be too dark since I changed the other color since then. I think I'm just going to grab this one and make it darker. Double click there. Because this is going to be the shadow. Okay. And I'm going to change my stroke color to be the same color, which I think was that right there. Okay. So now that is underneath. In the written instructions, they use the transform tool to move it down and to the right the same amount of space. Well, I went down and to the left. So now I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm looking at these little corners here where I am now going to grab the direct selection tool. And what I want to do is I want to make it have this dark color from here to there. And if I could just grab this guy right there and do it, actually, that worked okay, but I want it to be straight. So what I'm going to do is grab this node here and the next one there. I'm not really sure if this is going to have the effect I want. I think it's going to add nodes everywhere. What I'm trying to do is just add some extra nodes in between those 2 points. So I think when I go up to Object, Path, Add Anchor Points, it might just put them all over the darn shape. Oh yeah, it put them everywhere. But it doesn't matter. What I wanted was to get this one right there. So I could kind of fool around modifying that shape. Too far around. Stop moving so much. Just trying to get a nice straight line there. Might have been easier for me just to make a shape. But anyways, that's good enough. So that gives me that 3D effect there, and then it should be pretty good all around those edges, but I want to do the same thing right here. So I am just going to take a pen tool and make a new shape there. And then press enter so that gets closed off. And then go over here to layers and bring that down. Lovely. And I would do the same thing here, whatever allows me to get that 3D look. So now I've got my shape on the page. I think I'll go ahead and delete that artboard so I don't have to look at it. But what I want to do now is add this 3D effect to all of the text. And I wasn't able to get it to work like it says in the instructions where you go to object and expand. I did get it to select and do it. It just didn't seem to do what was expected. So I'm going to do this just like I did with my shape. I'm going to do a Command C to copy and a Command Shift V to paste in place. And now I see that I got the it all that I did before, and I got the one I just did now, and that's the original one right there. So this it all I have selected right there, and I am going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then I think it'll match the other text. I am going to change its color to something much darker. Because I want it to look like a shadow. Okay, and then I will move that layer underneath the other one. That looks pretty good. And then to really make it look great for the clincher, I would go in and put some little triangles here, unless these guys are going to be a little more cooperative for me. I probably have to, oh, that's why it's saying to expand it, because that's going to turn it into a vector graphic. So that makes sense. Okay, so now when I go to object, so that's why it asked us to do object expand so that we can get vectors out of there. I just didn't understand because it seemed out of order to me. So now I can see both of those, and because I was able to, expand it, I can now use the direct selection tool and change those vectors. There they are. And so if I can just move that one over there, in the direct selection tool, nice. So that's why we needed to be able to expand that. Back to the direct selection tool. And then maybe, it's really annoying how it keeps going back to text. Double click to select the single node, and yeah. So, I mean, I don't have time right now to fiddle around with it. But you're either going to be changing those, moving those nodes to give you that 3D effect there, or like it shows in the instructions, making a shape, like a triangle would be a good one to put there. That one right there. All right. So putting a triangle like that in these spots can really like that. Make that with that darker fill that I had, like right there, I think. I gotta find the same fill, and then bring it below the other layer. Yeah, so process of that for making that text 3D. Well, that's all I decided I wanted to show you guys. So I hope you have fun making your typographic poster.